Hey America, Chef John, Ghetto Gourmet. Tonight we're going to add some chicken. I put a little bit of the Shock Top Honey Crisp Apple Wheat. It has a very light apple and then a wheat, and the crisp is there, the sweetness. And I met some really nice ladies on the bus, and we were coming back from Gateway on the EMX, I believe it was. And so she said she wanted to take a class in knife cutting skills. Okay. And I told her, well, just watch my show in a few days, being today, that I would help a little bit on knife skills. Now, I already hit the celery, but I want you to see exactly where the knife runs. See that knuckle right there? And see how my blade goes up and down on it? Okay? So, I'm going to look over here. It's kind of tricky if I'm bent over. But as you can see, all right, I missed that one. All right, is that I'm getting the same size because, and I wanted a nice, real thin size, because my knife is the guard is here. This is how I run my blade. My blade runs against my knuckles and never goes more than 1/4 of an inch above the food. Why? Because if you get a 1/2 inch above, you're going to cut your knuckle off. Again. Okay. Now this is a rocking motion. Blade comes up, comes down, up, down, and kind of rocks back and forth. Or, which is what chefs prefer you to do, which is using the actual blade of the knife. I have it down so I can pretty much chop and get away with it, because chopping requires that you use the same amount of pressure on the blade the entire time and move in the same motion. And if you're going to do a good chop, to find out if you're good at it, if you can do a carrot is amazing, all right? But the back of a red bell pepper like that, the way I got all that. All right, so those are my hard veggies for my for the almondine chicken. All right, I wanted to show you that little thing because I promised the ladies I would. And whenever I, meet somebody on the bus who recognizes my show, or talks about food, and they want to go pay somebody, and I'm like, just look me up. All you got to do is take time, and then I'll give you the skills. So it's very important to have. This is what is called a French blade right here, and you can really buy one for like $2 or $3 at a Goodwill, and get yourself a good stone to go with it. I think I've showed you this before. And I carry very specific sound. That's how I know that I'm hitting the steel all the way through. Makes the same sound. If the angle's off, it makes the wrong sound. Angle's off too tight, makes the wrong sound. Angle's just right, makes a just right sound. And the burr's off. That's what steels are for. Okay, so let's finish preparing this. I'm trying to speed up. My rice is done. And I prefer to have all this out, but I was hungry and I was drinking that apple crisp, and you guys know one beer will get me kind of whoo. So I wanted to get this going. Because I've been real careful about my alcohol drinking lately, because I can get a little irritable when I'm drinking alcohol, and with all the attacks lately, I don't need to get irritable. Boink, boink in the head. Yeah. So, anyways, and I just don't need to drink alcohol that much. It's just one beer like tears me up. All right, so we're gonna hit this with some paprika. Okay. we're going to use sesame oil in the pan. And we're going to cut it with a little bit of regular oil. Okay? And I'm going to do this in this pan instead of in a wok. I thought about almost deep frying these, but I decided not to. Alright, now I'm going to take that beer, since it's been sitting on the chicken and flavoring them a little bit. I'm going to let it flavor my veggies a little bit. So I'm working with this concept that I have sweet, okay, which is going to be the beer and the apple crisp, and also kind of the almond, alright? Right there I'm adding a little bit of water to my chicken stock, about 2 ounces, alright? And I made it cold so I can go ahead and put my cornstarch right on top of my chicken stock. Alright? And that's going to save a step. I'm going to do a little whisk like that. So we're going for gentle flavors in this. We don't want anything overpowering at all. Dang, I hate when I don't have a towel. We don't want anything overpowering in this dish. So that's why we're using the peppers cut real, the onions cut real thin, peppers cut thin, the celery cut thin. I got my almonds right here, alright? And I'm going to take a hair of sugar, alright? And then it's supercalifragilistic, blow your head off heat. I'm going to use some, but I'm going to be ever so sparing with it. I want this as a background. I don't want it as a top flavor at all. Alright? I don't want it to be hot. I want it to go a little zing in your mouth, okay? That's what I'm working on here. The concept that it will zing in your mouth just a little bit. Alright? And, because I don't want it hot. Alright? Because if I make it too hot, I'm going to lose the gentle balance between the almonds and the red peppers and the sweet and the apple. Okay? We're ready to go. I'm going to put you on break